Hello.
Are we okay?
I think this time we are.
Thank you, Jesus. I something happened. I clicked something. We've had a lot of technical difficulties here. So we're talking about control when you're feeling out of control and how to control things, how to get more control in your life.
John Paduchak joined.
Oh, Paduchak.
Paduchak is here.
Paduchak. Look at little Paduchak there.
I figured out how to make it work.
You figured out. Good for you. You're
Yes.
my help desk, so I was hoping that you'd be able to figure out how to make it work.
How scary is that?
Yes.
Yes.
You are my help desk.
So, where are you calling today from, John?
Where are you?
I am calling from the lovely Hanover, New Hampshire,
Okay,
Home
very
of-
good.
Dartmouth College.
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth.
One of my
He is our intrepid on the road reporter.
yes, our roving reporter. Are you
You
roving?
could,
Somebody
yeah,
else
I am
is
definitely
driving?
roving. Huh?
I'm assuming somebody else is driving.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, thank God.
Thank you. thank you. Thank God. Thank Muhammad. Thank.
You think I'd be trying to drive into this? Come on.
I have seen you driving with me before, but you've had it in a cup holder or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I've done that before.
All right. So last week,
Yes.
there's a lot of noise on your end, John. I may have to mute you here.
I'm sorry. I can always mute myself.
There you go.
Oops. Actually, I muted him. I don't know if he has the power to unmute. Oh no, I guess he can.
I can unmute.
Yeah, I just muted you again. No, now I unmuted. Nope. There's a lot going on here today. So anyway, there's certain things we can control, other things we cannot control. And
Like muting other people.
it's muted. Well, no, I can mute him sufficiently. I can also do something where they actually say kick out, which you can actually kick somebody out of Melon, which is hilarious. And I have yet to try it though. But just before I started here, there were two of me appearing in Melon with horrible feedback. One of me is enough, but can you only imagine two of me? And so, yeah, John can't imagine that. And so I had to actually get out of this whole thing, log out, restart my computer, and get a code to get back on Melon. But when you follow procedures and you remain relatively calm, you can control certain things. If you can't control the circumstances around you, at least you can control your reaction to those circumstances.
Yes.
And that's why we brought in Dr. Kayvon K, because last week he shared on social media a nice little diagram, which I was just looking for moments ago, about, I can't remember what it was from, some sort of thing.
I think it was something that I saw on the internet and I liked it. And so, yeah, just...
Lots of people see stuff on the internet that they like.
Yes.
And so I was going to look for that thing again, but why don't you start us off, since you're very big on locus of control and other things like that, and productivity and profit finding and finding our inner Zen when we don't know when.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's a topic that I'm always very interested in, because it goes back to my young years as well, because different things happens in your environment and you're young and you don't know what's what. You're still learning about life, especially those teenage years that you think you know everything.
Oh yeah,
you have all the answers, but yes,
I have one of those who's living here. He's 15, so
let's get him on the live stream. He tell us what.
There's a football game tonight, and so he is a starter, even though he's his first year in football.
Yes.
And so he's trying to control everything on the line.
Yes.
And so we just don't want to disturb him prior to game time. So.
Yes. So yeah, this whole idea of control is very interesting. Like, what is it that we can really control?
Mm-hmm.
Or is everything worth controlling? Or do we get even better results with things controlled, or just let them be? So it has like multiple levels to it for myself. But at the end of the day, to simplify it, we don't have much control on goals outside of us.
Mm-mm.
And we have a lot of control on goals what's inside of us. Like, we can't control what people say, but we can control how we're going to think about them.
Yep.
So yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, but can we control how we feel about it? Because thinking about it is one thing. The emotional experience is a totally different one.
Yes. So the short answer is yes, but there's always a caveat, because when we say feeling, are we talking about that first second reaction that comes up, or what comes after? We are aware, we get a little bit of awareness. Let me give you a very personal example from my life. So my daughter, she's 21 now, but she was very young. She was about maybe 5 years old or so. And the musical instrument that I play, it has, at the top, the surface part of it, right under the strings, is not wood, it's the skin. It's a very thin skin, so it's very susceptible to be torn.
I'm assuming this is not human skin.
I think it's goat. I'm not sure what animal it
Thank
is.
God. I was getting a little Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, but it's and also it will tear up at some point anyway. It's sort of like a drum, but much thinner. So she ran to the room, said, "Daddy, Daddy!" She had something very exciting to share with me, and she knocked something over from my desk, landed on the instrument, and tore the screen. So I was the first fraction of a second was anger just coming up, and the thing is, what happened? Be careful, blah blah, all of that. But also at the same time, we're dealing with it like a 5-year-old. They don't have these sort of thing. Accidents happen. So the feeling came up, and before the words leave my mouth, I caught it right here, and I pushed them back down. Take a look at my daughter, and she was standing there helpless. She knew she did something bad, and I'm the one who she can also run to when bad things happen, but at the same time I'm the one who's going to probably yell. So it's a very terrible situation. To be, breaks my heart that your savior and your enemy are both the same person.
Right. So that's sort of like the creator anyway, but but clarify this for me. She was 5, not 21.
No, she's 21 now, but she was 5.
Got it. Okay.
Right. Yes.
I was just trying to figure.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, this is one of my proud moments of control, proud moments of being a father, that the reaction came up, the feeling of anger came up, but I caught it. So I pushed it back down, and I used my kinder words and re-emphasized what I believe, that, hey, don't worry about it. It's just a thing. You're a person. Your value is higher. Yeah, that's a terrible thing that happened, but it eventually it can be fixed. You're a person. That's a thing, not important. So it became control. So yeah, that thing happened on the outside, but what happened inside of me and eventually inside of her was under our control.
Let's see if I can unmute John to participate here. There,
I can participate.
we got you. Talk to us about reactions and control, and when things go bad, like when your chickens escape or something. I don't know, or your RV runs out of gas. Can you hear us?
Reactions and control. Yeah. I hear you.
Okay. I just wanted. I thought there was a synaptic delay or a transmission delay.
A bit of a synaptic delay.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to pay attention to multiple conversations at once.
Oh,
so
should I kick
lost
you
me a
out?
little
Like I have the control to do that?
No.
Okay.
No. It's fine.
So what do you feel? What are some examples? Let's say business life or things like that, because you've had technology go bad, just like I had it go wrong, terribly wrong today. What are some examples
of course.
that you have about? Because you usually stay calm and collected, and when things go bad for people on live streams, you're the guy who usually pulls it all together again.
I am, and I think the reason for that is because, one, I'm uber patient. I've worked in tech for so many years. Nothing seems to faze me anymore. So it's important. You can't get anywhere unless you remain cool and stay collected and try.
We got bandwidth issues. Oops. You're sounding like a robot. Okay, maybe we'll come back to you when you are a little more have a better signal. Yeah, you're frozen. Okay. I'll wait for his image to come back. So I'm going to mute our friend John right now. Oh, are you able to hear us now? Hello? Nothing. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, you basically were very clippy and you came in and out and froze. So we didn't hear anything. I think Elon's thing needs to be on top of this vehicle at this point. All right. Okay, so Dr. K,
Yes.
if someone wants to find profits, what do they need to do? I was going to show you. This is the diagram, as a matter of fact, that we had last week. Boom, there it is.
Oh, yes, I can see it. So see, it's right there. It says, in my control on the top left is my thoughts and actions.
Right.
Right. But on the top left outside is the actions of others.
Right.
Right.
And I particularly honed in on past versus future. Like, you can't control the past and you can't control the future. All you can control is the present.
Yes. At the same time, we can control the meaning of the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know, past happened already. It is impacting our present with the meaning that we give to it, lessons that we choose to bring to it, and many times we know that all of that can be changed. So I don't know if you can call it control over past, but we can control the impact of the past on the present and also our future planning.
And perhaps even reframe or change our feelings about the past, because if it wasn't for the past, we wouldn't be in our present circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. And we know many times things happen at the time that we think, oh, this is a terrible thing that happened, but eventually you turn out, oh, there is multiple levels of silver lining in that thing.
Right.
Yeah, John, you were going to say something?
Well, John was going to say something. I muted him again because there was just a big conversation going on. Let me we're unmuting John again. There we go. There's a delay in Melon. There we go.
I wasn't.
You're on.
Yeah, I was going to say I wasn't a good spot at one point, but I don't think I am now.
No, now you're in a great spot. You were previously in a bad spot.
Oh, all right.
Spot on.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
Good.
It's all good. So I think this is what in psychology we used to always talk about this when I was an undergrad, about locus of control, and this notion that you have to kind of understand that in your own brain that you are centered inside of your own head as to what you can do. But and that an external locus of control means you're always giving up your power to outside circumstances, people, places, things, situations. And that is the secret of even people like Viktor Frankl, who survived in a concentration camp because he didn't allow external circumstances have as great an impact on his internal life.
Right.
Yes.
So do you have any hacks or tips or tricks, Dr. K, about?
Well, I do have a sort of like a framework.
Okay. Do you want me to get rid of the screen right now? I can.
Let me see if I can share something here.
Okay. Let me hide this one, and then if you have something to share.
Okay. Give me a second to bring it on my screen.
Yep. So I stopped sharing, not because I don't care.
Okay.
Barney, I'm reminded by these little purple things we had here. Barney was the dinosaur who said that sharing was caring.
Dr. Kayvon K, Profit Coach, joined.
Okay, this is going to be a little inception-y right here. Here we go.
Okay.
Whee! The dream within a dream within a dream within a dream.
So there we go.
There we go.
Do you see this?
Yep. Whoa, now it disappeared.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it back. So this is the model that I simplified it for myself. So, in the external, or even sometimes even the internal, right? But there's a trigger, and we have two options to go, right? Because one of them, ends up in some sort of a result that is out of control, or a desired result, right? So when we approach it with like just going through thoughts and emotions that they just happen haphazardly without our control, without our looking at them, we end up with random results. Right. But through training, we get better results. So let me put it this way. Let me come back to the.
So Dr. Kayvon K has We've lost Dr. Kayvon K.
Left.
Those were the results we didn't.
He's left the building.
Dr. K has left the building. I hope he comes back in again. But I like the diagram because I'm really big on simplifying, as you are, John. The simpler you can make things, the easier it is for you to understand them, for you to teach them, and for other people actually to put things in action. Here he's back.
Exactly, and I thought it was me that was going to disappear.
No, it was Dr. Kayvon K, Profit Finder, and
Yeah, I was going to stop the sharing, and I stopped this live stream.
stop the stream. Here we're living the stream dream.
Yes. So that dichotomy, think about it.
Yeah.
So there is a trigger at the top,
Yeah.
and it can go one of the two ways.
Right.
One is reaction. The other one is response.
Right. And you had
So-
training in there too. The
Yes.
Yeah.
So I modified that into a cleaner model later. So
Yeah.
trigger, you can end up in either reaction or response.
Right.
And there in the middle there are two P's in each one of those ways. So if a trigger happens, something happens to you, and you are not trained for that, what you end up with is panic.
Right.
Panic takes you to a reaction. But if you have training for that, what you have is practice. So trigger, either panic shows up or your practice shows up, and you end up in a reaction or response. I'll always like the example of, let's say you are in a dark alley and somebody comes to you with a Batman story, holding a gun and give me all your money, right? So, or somebody just attacks you. So the people who have trained in self-defense and martial arts, they don't panic. And if something comes towards them, their practice just kicks in. There is no time for thinking, and they can deflect because they have done the movement over and over and over and over. That's the practice part. But if not, there is not time to think, and we panic, or we do the wrong thing, or somebody gets hurt, and all of that. So that's the control for me is, where do I want to end up, in reaction or response? So the framework is, we can anticipate when things go wrong. So when this happened, I'm going to do that. When this, then that. When this, then that. So having a bunch of scenarios like that, when this happens, I'm going to do that. And we do that already in our life anyway, with saving account, with the additional generator that we have at home. So it's a matter of few things like that. So when Facebook changes their algorithm, then I'm going to do that. So not being reliant on only one platform or only one method, or having only one offer, a few scenarios that they can happen, when this, then that, and keep practicing.
It's interesting that you don't say if this, then that. You're saying when this, then that. Yeah. Well, it reminds me of astronaut training, because the astronaut training is just amazing. They would repeat all these various types of disaster scenarios.
Yes.
Until the astronaut has almost no increase in heart rate or other types of stress measurements.
Well, if it's good for astronauts, for pilots, for surgeons, it's good for us too.
If a pilot can do this, you should too.
Yes.
See, John's not stressed out. He's being chauffeured.
Yes.
He doesn't have to worry about traffic.
He's in the back of a limousine.
He's the back of a limo. Yeah, I think he said something about Uber this or that. I don't know if he's being driven in an Uber or he's just uber calm right now.
So, and it doesn't always has to be like disaster.
Right.
So, for example, we are all on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, and this and that. We receive friend requests.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So but what I'm saying is, many of them could be good networking, or you can mine it. So I have this response that sometimes I use, but it's one of those text expander things that I say, hey, thank you for the connection request. I'm glad we are connected. What exciting project are you working on these days?
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Right? So when a friend request, send that. And it opens up a conversation. And sometimes you have a few sentences back and forth. And now you get to know someone. And if you have noticed, I'm asking about them and what's important for them and that sort of thing. So it kind of positions you in a caring kind of a person.
John has certain things that he says. I've just unmuted you, John. What's your normal response?
My normal response to what?
To somebody reaches out to you on Facebook or LinkedIn for a connection.
Oh, you don't want to get me started.
I know.
Is it get off my porch?
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my digital yard. So,
I got about 6 of those today, and I said no.
see, so John's actually doing the opposite of Kayvon. He's closing the opportunity to connect with them. But I'm somewhere
Immediately.
between the two of you, actually, because if I see somebody I have a number of different connections with as a friend, I go to their profile. And then I see what is their business. Am I a target for them, or are we genuinely going to connect in some way?
Yes.
And so I'm in between both of you. But I like your response, Dr. K, about saying, what exciting things are you working on right now? That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'll do a quick evaluation to like there are some of them that you can generally you get a picture of a very attractive woman, and you go there and you realize like there are no like only 3 friends, and it says, "Are you lonely? Contact me here." So that's
Yeah, that's all I've been getting lately.
Yes.
And that's all he responds to lately. So
The other one is seems to be a real person, but again, when you look at the profile, it was just created or 4 friends.
Yeah.
Delete. That's a fake one, right? And the third one is it's all this is the kind that they're quickly gonna send you a message. Hey, you want to get on a call? Sell something? Delete. So after those filters, when it's a real person, then when I accept, I send that response.
okay, so you do go through a filtration process,
Makes sense.
much like reverse osmosis.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So when a friend requests, get off my lawn.
Get off
Yes.
my lawn. Get out of my car and into my car and into my dreams. I don't know, Billy Ocean. That's all I remember.
So it's pretty much unless we have 400 male friends, get off my lawn.
No, my magic number is like 125. So I mean, we all have different numbers. So
Yeah, I've had a lot
I
of
don't even
trouble
know
with
125
two-
people.
you don't know 125 people.
200 or less. I've had a lot of problems with, but
Really?
there have been some lately that I haven't, and I've dug into their profile, and it turns out that we were introduced by somebody or whatever. Those I'll accept, but for the most part, if we don't have an awful lot of contacts and friends together, chances are pretty good I'm not going to accept.
So isn't it interesting? So we basically we're working at maintaining control. We're doing it internally based upon certain criteria.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the question is, what kind of emotional reaction do we have when a friend request or a connection comes in?
Is this towards my goal or against my goals, or even
Right.
actions or opportunities?
Yeah.
Like when we are doing something or we want to do something, we can just ask ourselves, is this effective or ineffective?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and I can't say that's always my normal, because I did have somebody a few weeks ago. We had no mutual friends, but we hit it off in a conversation, and I accepted him.
But see, that's it. We hit it off in a conversation. You had some degree of resonance with this person, and it wasn't, sell, or buy.
Right. Yep. Correct.
Interesting. So when it comes to the things where we feel we're out of control, are there any other hacks that you can recommend, Dr. K or John, or ideas about or what are you looking for in terms of resonance, or are you?
Well, what I'm looking for is conserve my energy.
Yeah.
Right? Because the things that are out of my control, they will just suck up all my energy for the things that I could control.
True.
And when I say energy, I'm talking about not only like physical energy, mental energy, hope, positivity,
Right.
And all of that. So just don't want to dilute it. This is important. We want to keep it sacred and protected.
Well,
Yes.
and I like to look at it in terms of, am I attracting a bunch of silver lining people, or am I attracting a bunch of people with dark clouds on the horizon?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, I don't mind the occasional storm with lightning or so, because I know things are going to clear up. And having been in practice for 33 years and 13,000 patients later, I can tell you, people have come into my practice in pain, negative attitude, a lot of different things like that. And you watch them as they become feeling physically better. You also see the mental and emotional clouds begin to dissipate. And you realize, oh, that was a really nice person who was covered in a wrapping of cloudiness.
Yes. Yes,
And I think
exactly.
that's true of clients that we encounter too. What are they
Yeah.
going to be like when they first come to us?
Yes. Also, there is a
Right.
level of acceptance of what is it that we can really control.
Yeah.
Like I was reading an article about the book, the Art of War.
Yeah.
And one of the main tenets or concepts of the Art of War is conflict is a fact of life.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Right? But do we behave like that? Because at that moment when I read that sentence, even though it was obvious to me, but kind of the first time that I really paid attention to it, and I thought, so it means all the times that I try to avoid conflict or prevent conflict and all of that to doesn't so it doesn't happen in my life, I was just wasting my time and energy and positivity and all of that. Because guess what? Doesn't matter what I do, conflicts will show up.
Oh yeah.
It's a fact of life.
I was reminded not too long ago. It's like, you're born with problems, you'll die with problems, and it's what you do in between.
So here's the thing: if I just living with integrity and all of that, if I just don't do anything, all of that extra energy to try to prevent conflict, when it shows up, I don't think, oh, damn it, I failed one more time, I failed again. I don't feel bad about myself. I think, instead of saying I tried to prevent it and I failed, my thought is going to be, oh, there it is. See, that's a much better situation to be. And I'm not in that situation already tired and exhausted from the energy that I spent on preventing it. I am fresh. Now I can deal with the conflict and go to the next level.
I like fresh Kayvon better than stale Kayvon.
Oh yes. You don't want to see. You only want to see fresh Kayvon.
Only fresh Kayvon. John, what does fresh John look like?
You're looking at it.
That's fresh. He's fresh. He's rested.
Pretty much.
He's
Yeah.
tan.
Pretty much.
Oh, now he's getting bad bandwidth again. That's so sad, though. But I mean, yeah, you need to put that satellite on top of your car, John. I think that would be the key. That would be the key to success. In terms
All I have to do is, give him one of my dad jokes, or,
well, then you get the face palm. He's capable of producing the face palm, but he's frozen right now. So
yes.
let it
What's
go.
that guy that has a series of jokes? The martial artist.
Martial artist, the series of jokes. No, what is it?
I forgot his name.
I thought you were going to make some joke about he cracks you up. No.
The guy who was in a movie with Bruce Lee and
Oh, you mean Jackie Chan?
No.
Bruce Lee.
The American. He was the Lone Star Texas Ranger.
Oh. Jeez, I can see him. He's red haired and
Yes,
red.
that dude.
Chuck
Norris.
Chuck Norris. There you go.
So I was going to give him one of my Chuck Norris jokes.
Chuck Steak. You could give him one right now, and if the signal is strong enough, it'll break through.
Okay.
Bandwidth issue he's having, and he'll unfreeze.
So I have two.
Okay, good.
One is, did you know Chuck Norris was in all Star Wars movies?
No.
He was the Force.
Oh my God.
And did you know when Chuck Norris left home for college, he told his dad, "You're the man of the house now."
Oh boy.
I love those two.
All right. Well, there you go. And we lost John because the bandwidth was so
Yes. And we are at the 30 minutes. So I think this
yeah, it's pretty good. I want to go back to just sharing that thing one more time, just because
bring it up.
We were talking about it, and we might as well just share it once more. And you can, in fact, this can become a screen. You could take I understand. They're giving me all these privacy notices all the time about this. Yeah, I'm the guy in control. You don't have to worry about showing my screen. Boom. There we go. That's the one before. So if you want to screenshot this, I thought this was pretty good. It was the website, or I should say the Instagram account was Mindful Enough. was it?
I have no idea. This was a repost of
Okay.
somebody else.
So-
So yeah, I just it's one of those that goes around. I don't even know if that's his
Just
still.
what goes around comes around, et cetera, et cetera. I just like the whole thing that, what's in your control, what's out of your control. And I think, to a certain extent, what's very interesting, I've seen this operate within psychologically with people who are like, for example, malignant narcissists who try to control everything around them and all the people around them because inside they are out of control.
Yes, they are.
And that just, I'm getting chills on that one because I've seen it happen numerous times in my life. And if everybody's always externally focused, it usually means that their internal life is rather chaotic and out of control. So
now here's the thing, to prevent chaos and bring focus to this. Because there are so many things on this diagram right now. But we can only focus on one thing at a time. So what is your number one that you want to focus on for the next while from the outside, and what is your number one for the inside?
I mean, for me personally, I want to focus on, to a certain extent, more about how others take care of themselves. But that's been sort of my whole life as a caretaker, as a doctor, as a people, in charge of tens, thousands of people. So, but I do, and that's also, I find that in the role of coaching, whether it's business coaching or doing mindset coaching, I am concerned, or my intention is how others take care of themselves to improve how that happens. But that's maybe a constructive use as opposed to always being codependent. It's like, it's almost like, you look at it from the people who are always, they're in as work as therapists, as doctors, as nurses, as other paraprofessionals. They are somewhat focused on other people and helping other people. But not so much fixing them, but helping them to get better care of themselves, of their business profits, of simplifying their lives. Am I getting too off track?
Well, no. Well, you're bringing up a good point, because many of these, like how others take care of themselves, generally is none of our business.
No, it's true. It's none of our business. But
as a caretaker, that is something that is somewhat under your control, because they come to you for advice, they come to you for treatment, and all of that. So
they come for help. They say, Dr. Kayvon K, help me find profit centers so I can increase my profits.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But I will say, the other thing is, my self-talk's getting better and better. Spending free time boundaries is still a tough one for me.
Because here's the thing, you can pick every Monday, look at this.
Look at one of these things.
This week I'm going to focus on this one. And just that would be your theme.
This week is focusing on my boundaries, or the following week is the goals that I'm setting. The week after that is what I give my energy to. The week after that is my thoughts and actions. But I will say it's interesting, because I would say that my feelings, to a great extent, are more important to me in terms of gaining more self-control than necessarily my thoughts, because I think feelings are far more powerful than just thoughts that we may have.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's just my personal opinion of the day. I'm going to stop the share, and then we're going to go. So I think we have gone past our.
I was going to share you my two options.
Oh, share something. Come back and share, but don't.
But I choose not to care about what other people do.
Well, the diagram. If you can bring your diagram back again without booting yourself out of the live.
No. Let's just bring up the one that you had. That's fine.
Oh, that again? Okay.
Yeah.
That's right, because you want to share what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay, so I gotta go back. I have to give permission again, because apparently they're all worried that I'm going to be violating my own sense of privacy. So
one thing that we all, people are listening to this, we're entrepreneurs.
Oh yeah.
Right. So we have that thing that has been coming up again for me. It comes and goes, right?
Yeah.
Is the imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah.
So the one that I want to focus on for the next while, and realize it is out of my control, is what other people think of me.
True.
And I just want to put my head down and do my work. And so therefore, in my control, I'm going to give focus on what I give my energy to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I'm going to give my energy to progress and work and just doing my thing, and not worry about other people think about it.
I think the joy of getting older is that you recognize that you stop caring about what other people think to a
Well,
certain extent.
there are three phases. When we are really young,
Yeah.
we are very worried about what other people think about us.
Right.
When we are middle age, we don't care what they think about us.
Right.
And when we are really old, we realize they don't even think about us.
Yeah, they never even had bothered. They weren't paying attention to you, even though you thought they were.
They were tuned into what's in it for me, WIFM FM radio.
WIIFM.
Yes, they are not thinking about me; they are thinking about themselves.
Yeah. Well, and that's true of all of our messaging and everything else that we have in business, which is keep thinking about related to what other people think, what are their problems and everything else like that. It's not so much, but then you begin to recognize too that all of us universally have a lot of these same things inside of us.
Yeah.
And speaking to the inner world, the emotional world, the thoughts, the fears, everything that other people have creates that resonance and connects us to other people.
That's the empathy of putting ourselves in other people's shoes.
Right.
And one of the things that makes me sad is this virus going around that lots of people say, don't even try to put yourself in my shoes. You can't never possibly understand what I'm going through. Well, I'm trying. Or, all of the, but so that's the opposite of empathy. I rather to stay on the empathy road.
Well, there's a condition called humanity.
Yeah.
And if you're a human being, the odds are very good that you have some similar thoughts, feelings, emotions, and experiences as other human beings.
Yeah.
And I think but I do think also that people sometimes forget humanity. And as a result, it's all about, gaining stuff and things at the expense of others.
Oh,
and you reach that point, do they have empathy? And to me, there's also a difference between empathy and sympathy.
yes.
Sympathy being that you're going to feel the same level of pain and angst and things that somebody else is. And by doing so, actually amplify the negativity as opposed to empathy, sort of like, been there, done that. Yeah, I'm sorry you're feeling that way, as opposed to, oh, this is awful, this is horrible, this is terrible, and adding to the panic and fear and worry about what's going on. So
yeah, very good.
That wasn't very positive, but but I do think I'm totally on board with you.
No, you're talking because it's that very small differences, like the difference between delegation and abdication.
Yeah,
it's a small thing like that makes a big difference. So. Yeah, we need to be aware of all of those little nuances.
And not to amplify the negativity in someone, but to be able to feel for them as opposed to feel with them.
Yes.
And I think those are subtle things. But as entrepreneurs, it's the most important thing we're seeing more and more. Yeah. It's your personal brand. It's the personal connection. The way you sell is by having genuine conversations.
Yes.
As opposed to sales pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, it's just son of a pitch. Another person's befriended me on Facebook and is selling me immediately. So, got to get out of that one. All right. So, any
part today?
Yep.
Yeah. No, nothing else. I think that's a good place to stop.
Okay, we're good. And so, just remember, the Do It Now show is basically all about doing things now and taking action.
Yes.
And removing some of the obstacles, both externally, but primarily internally towards acting. And even if it's imperfect action, it's got to be good. So if it's 2:00 Pacific on Fridays or 5:00 Eastern, somewhere on the road on the East Coast, it's time for the Do It Now show. And we are very much aware that most of you are watching this in replay. So please use the hashtag replay. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or things you'd like us to tackle, put them down below, because we're in 10 different locations each time we broadcast. Crazy, but that's the beauty of technology. All right. Have a great weekend. We are ending this now, but come back and see us again sometime.